How to make pemmican survival food. We're going to teach you how to make pemmican. This concentrated mixture of both fat and protein is the ultimate survival food made to last. You can store the mix in airtight containers even without refrigeration. When done properly, it can last you years. Full of calories and nutrition, it has come to even inspire some of today's protein and energy bars. Pemmican was invented by the native people of North America, but it was then adopted by the incoming Europeans. Men allegedly could walk for at least 36 hours before dropping when given pemmican, though they were to only use it as a last resort. Anyway, let's get to the steps. First, you will have to dry the meat, beef that is. Have all the fat cut off, then slice it as thinly as possible prior to placing it on a drying rack under the heat of sunlight. You can also place the meat in an oven, but the temperature must be at the lowest setting. Second, you must then grind or pound the meat into a powder. With a food processor, you can try to mince the meat and then later grind it inside of your blender. However, in a survival situation, you will have to manually chop your meat into small bits and or pieces and then crush them until they reach a powder-like form. Third, you will then have to render the fat. If done properly, you can get the most years or least spoil chance out of your pemmican. So start by heating up the fat in a crock pot on the stove or in oven. A low setting you must use for several hours. Make sure to stir the fat just occasionally so that it reaches a point where it stops bubbling. Then pour this fat through a mesh strainer so that you can filter out any solid remaining pieces. Fourth, if you have any dried nuts or fruits you plan to add, this will be the time to add them in. Fifth, add now the fat you rendered earlier. For each 2 parts of the dried meat, add 1 part of fat. Pour your meat mixture into the hot liquid fat just slowly and then remember to stir well. For the 6th step, you will now need to form your pemmican. Cut the meat however you like it, but let it go a bit firm before doing so. You must now store the pemmican you just made for the last and final step. Place those cuts into airtight containers and be able to store them in any cool, dark or dry place. You can also consider putting these cuts in a freezer via zipper bags. If you're interested to learn more, then please click here now and watch a really cool video.